But folks, thank you for joining today. Pleasure. Andy, I'd like to start with you, please, about this journey. BT is a big corporation with 80,000 employees, but you were tasked to double BT's cybersecurity business to £2 billion, in 3 years. Talk to me a bit about that journey and how Centrical helped with that.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. So for background, we started the cybersecurity business in BT in 2014 from scratch. And I'm delighted to say that by 2020, we'd grown the business to £1 billion in terms of revenue. And that was servicing from SMEs right the way through to outsourcing large MNCs and, of course, nation states as well. We delivered that business by growing our own security division. So in 2020, we had over 3,000 security experts deployed around the globe in product sales, in marketing, in delivery and in life. And we thought we'd done pretty well. And then our new Group CEO, Philip Jensen, joined in 2020 and challenged us to get to 2 billion within the next 3 years, which was nice of him. We quickly recognised that we needed to get the wider BT sales organisation helping us selling security. And this was going to be new to them. They'd been used to selling networking, voice services, but selling security, they had little or no confidence in terms of being able to go and create those conversations. The similar challenge as well is, if I look historically, our sales training had not been particularly good across BT. And using the kind of traditional methods of training, even when we made training mandatory, we would only get 35% potentially, actually completing it. So return on investment was very, very poor. And also we're talking about, providing new knowledge, new skills, and confidence to existing salespeople in BT. And I don't know, I assume salespeople in BT will be the same as salespeople outside as well. If you've been in the business selling the same stuff for the last 20 years, the last thing a salesperson wants to do is actually learn new skills. It's old dog, new tricks kind of stuff, So subsequently, we needed to think of something different when it came to training. We needed to think of something that was going to excite people, bring in new innovation. We wanted to deliver, micro-learning content. We wanted to make it competitive. We wanted to make it gamified. And therefore, we needed to kind of look outside the kind of traditional players that we'd worked with before in terms of providing training, and look at new kind of startups in terms of brand new innovation that could bring some excitement into that. And that's when we were fortunate enough to hook up with Centrical very, very quickly. I mean, they came in, worked with us. I mean, the key thing was the key thing I would call out is them understanding our business and understanding the business issues we faced. Right. And just very, very briefly, we launched this to 2,500 people. We got 97% completed the training, and within 6 months we'd created £181 million worth of brand new opportunities that hadn't existed before.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, Andy, for the overview. You mentioned the gamification of training folks in their new form of sales and their new journeys, and that's where Centrical comes in. So talk to me about the synergy that was created between bringing this relatively young, agile startup into a larger enterprise that is quite established and that's open to both of you, but perhaps, Gal, you'd like to kind of take the reins.
Yeah, so when I started Centrical, the first customer was Yahoo. Right, second one, Microsoft, Ingersoll Rand. So it was like start dancing with the elephants, and dancing with the elephants could be very, very hurtful for the feet. Yeah. So first thing is to understand that you're not selling just technology, but you're selling a process or sometimes practice. And to do that, we develop a very strong customer success organization where initially when I heard the first time what's customer success, I thought this is like a euphemism for service, right, support. but it's not. It's consultancy and helping the organization to transform themselves. So this is one aspect that is very important to keep dancing with the elephants. The second one is, Zoom and everything is great, and new world and communication and so on. There is no replacement to feet on the ground. And here we have our leader for the UK and EMEA, and we have a team in the UK, we have a team in Australia, in Latin America, and of course mainly in the US. And you need to work with the customers to see the customers, to understand them. And I believe that we're going back to traveling. This is the way to dance with the elephants.
I love that expression.
Sorry, you look better than an elephant.
Thank you very much. I think the other thing is that within our security division, we were used to kind of innovation and startup. So looking at when you're in security, you need to keep abreast of all the latest technology in the marketplace. So in fact, we've set up something called a cyber assessment lab where we basically assess all kind of new startups and new technology. So we wanted to basically apply that to how we would look at other areas like training, for instance. And as I say, we were fortunate enough to meet with Centrical. I think the biggest call out I would say about Centrical is they were very, very keen to understand what my business issue was, and equally to very much make sure that we had clear business outcomes and we could measure return on investment. And never at any stage, genuinely, did I kind of feel like Centrical was selling to me. They were very, very keen to understand my problem and then help resolve that problem.
And just to be honest, we try to understand the problem and to present Andy's team, and then after we finish the conversation, the formal Zoom meeting, Andy tweeted me and hey Gal, you didn't understand nothing. let me explain to you. And then okay, now we get it. And I think that again, if you're coming from a place that you bring technology, you bring innovation, but you understand that the big problem, the business problem lies with the business, and you need to be humble enough to truly listen and not just pushing and selling.
Okay, thank you. Now you mentioned that the big problem, and we can use the example of BT on quite the micro level of how a company like Centrical can solve some of these issues. Can we talk a bit about the macro level and the future of work? I mean, Generation Z is going to be entering the workforce. They're going to be more used to things like gamification and quizzes and some of these more innovative ways of training teams. What does that look like on a bigger scale? I know you have clients that aren't just BT, but Coke, IBM, and other large enterprises.
Yeah, today we serve more than 150 very large enterprises like Coca-Cola, Hyundai, BMW, Microsoft, IBM, and others. And before starting Centrical, I was in the field of BI analytics, big data, and in a way it was like a pyramid, right? Top down, business to the field, and monitoring the data and to understand where the problems are. And I was very frustrated from the fact that the needle of performance didn't move. And my aha moment before starting Centrical was when you have strategy, how to execute the strategy. It's that simple. Now, the person that executes the strategy is the employee. And therefore, organizations that for decades invested in the consumers and created customer centricity processes didn't invest in the employees. Maybe fun, basketball, massage, and so on. They truly didn't invest in the employees to create a personalized, guided experience that will help everyone to succeed, which means that they need to be aligned to the corporate goals. They need to understand where they are, kind of a fitness tracker for work. Second, they need to be motivated and to care about the business and to change their behaviors. And by the way, Andy invented a great, term like behavioral hub for one of their projects. Third, it is to learn, keep learning, but learn only the relevant things. Usually you learn a lot of things that are not relevant for you, so you hate learning. Then we would like to listen to the employee, the why, why aren't you performing, or, why you're doing great, and let's share with others. And the last but not least is, how can we bring the manager, the manager of the 10, 20 employees, to become a coach over kind of a monitoring, big brother. We would like to turn them into a coach and to help utilizing, we're talking about AI all day, right? So we bring AI and everything is like automated. Where is the human aspect? Where is the compassion, empathy, creativity, the ability to use the emotional intelligence of people augmented by AI? And then you create something that every employee will grow, would like to improve their performance, and of course, by the end of the day, make money. Everyone wants to make money.
Andy, you mentioned some numerical accomplishments by incorporating Centrical. Can you elaborate a bit on the kind of emotional and personal accomplishments that were maybe done by the sales teams that, as you said, maybe don't like learning new tricks?
Well, it was amazing actually, because so we would release micro-learning content onto the platform every week. And you're talking about an audience that never wanted to train before. And if we were a day late launching that content, we would have an avalanche of calls from these people that didn't want to learn, saying, where is it? I want to do it. I want to do it, I want to learn, but I also want to be ahead in the league table. I want to win the race. So you had this whole kind of competitive nature surrounding that kind of area as well. We received so much unsolicited positive feedback. It was amazing. It completely transformed the culture and the attitude of our sales organisations to learning. That's the best example I can give. And that now is being kind of now rolled out across BT. So we were obviously training the sales organisation, the wider sales organisation, on security. But there are so many different use cases now. We have many divisions within BT that serve different marketplaces, all with different issues. And so therefore what we're doing now is working with Centrical to basically discuss with them what our business issues are, and then consequently whether Centrical can help. Because ultimately at the end of the day, as Gal said, it comes down to people, and typically it's about people having to learn new skills to deliver the business outcomes that certainly BT and other organisations need to deliver on.
10 words?
That's great. We are running out of time, but if you have any closing remarks before the gong rings.
Yeah, so Andy told me something which for me was like a big aha moment of, their people were used to sell security solutions, right? And Andy's goal is to turn them into an advisor role, trusted advisor role. And this is a cultural shift. And to do this, you need something that will come from the depth of a person. And this is like why things that are around positive psychology together with skills and performance are intact.
Oh, that's great. Oh, saved by the bell. Gal, Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you.